Let's bring in Ritesh Kotak. He's a tech and cybersecurity expert. Hey, Ritesh, good to see you, my friend. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Great to be back on, Todd.
Yeah, your thoughts on what this means here?
I really don't know what this means. I think this is signaling of sign. It's what's maybe to come. The fact that the U.S. government is also looking at some very similar situation in the United States. So one thing that the U.S. government said is TikTok, we want you to essentially divest as well. We want you to sell the American component of TikTok and leave it in America. And TikTok said, well, no, that's not happening, and they still haven't actually answer to that. And we're kind of seeing something similar up here as well. The fact that TikTok Canada has been asked to shut down their two offices in Vancouver and in Toronto, while the app is still operational. So what does that mean? Well, you just won't be able to get a hold of TikTok. There's small business services, there's advertising services, law enforcement services, but the app still continues. So this is a very interesting situation. It's like, wind down your offices, but let's keep the app on the App Store?
Yeah, so why is it so vague here? Is it, is the government trying to figure out what exactly they want to do, how far they actually want to go?
I think if they just come out and ban it, there's repercussions that come from that, and it may be the fact that, let's face it, like, this is a very powerful platform. Educators use it. Small businesses have built their entire brands on it. There's a whole industry of content creators and influencers, and now all of a sudden you take away this platform, you kind of take away their ability to earn a living, and without really any warning, it still is a very popular platform. So I don't understand the logic behind this. I get the messaging around it. I get the fact that there's real national security concerns. The fact that there's ties to Beijing, but there's also been no evidence that's been provided that they've actually have ever been compelled to turn over evidence or content of Canadians, and that TikTok actually did so. So it's a very unique and interesting situation.
So we know the U.S. has threatened this, but again, with Donald Trump's victory, we're not sure. Originally, he said he was going to ban it. Then he kind of walked that back. How dangerous or how much of a threat do you think TikTok actually is? Or do we simply not know? I mean, there are those who are worried that the app is monitoring people's activities and their behaviors and it's tracking people and whatnot. But there's a lot we actually don't really understand about what's going on here, isn't there, Ritesh?
Yeah, we don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. It's not like we've had third-party auditors that are independent that have come in and actually analyzed the code. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I think the big issue is that it's not just TikTok, it is social media platforms in general are all collecting this data. They're all collecting location-based information, device-based information, who you're interacting with, what you're putting on there. They're using that to monetize, to be able to send hyper-targeted advertising to individuals. So it is happening across all platforms. The fact that TikTok has this Chinese connection, they're being singled out. But it seems like there's two different playbooks here. There's one for Chinese apps and then one for non-Chinese apps. And I think that's a thing of concern, especially as individuals and businesses actually go on the platform to conduct their day-to-day business.
Hey, Ritesh, it's good to see you again. We'll see how this one plays out.
Thanks, Todd.